Welcome to the Rock Show on your Wednesday night. Happy Hump Day. And as we all know, we've had a lot of weather around here, and that has impacted a local nonprofit ministry in ways that a lot of us haven't thought about yet. Farmer Josh Casey in studio with us tonight to talk about how the community can help rebuild Hugger-Root Family Farms. That's coming up this half hour, but right now we're getting into the Rock Show tonight. With Relentless Flood, it's Set Me Free. Good evening, y'all.
For as long as I've had breath, I've fought against the waves and wind, and now this battle-weary shell is wearing thin. I have wrestled with regret, all the shadows of my past try to steal away the threads of hope within. Just to rest without the weight of all this sorrow on my chest. Is this life of mine in vain? Will I ever see a day without this pain? I'm crying in distress, so I fall to my knees, crying, Lord, won't you please set me free? God, I give you all of me. Take this heart and make it clean. Set me free. Set me free. I just can't make it on my own, and believe me, I have tried, but at every single turn I fall again. I need someone to pick courageously leave a legacy. I wanna surrender myself. Faith awakening, live for eternity. I'll stand with no ovation. I'm gonna rise up. This is my declaration. My declaration. I'm not afraid to face all I have done, and I'm not perfect, but a child of the sun, gonna face my demons, for I know that they will come. They'll hear me screaming, the end of you has come. I wanna lead courageously, leave a legacy. I wanna surrender myself. Faith awakening, live for eternity. I'll stand with no ovation. I'm gonna rise up. This is my declaration. This is my declaration. When the enemy comes, I will not rest. When the enemy comes, I'll be ready with the light in the darkness. When the enemy comes, I will not rest. When the enemy comes, I'll be ready with the light in the darkness. When the enemy comes, I will not rest. When the enemy comes, I'll be ready with the light in the dark. I wanna lead courageously, leave a legacy. I wanna surrender myself. Faith awakening, live for eternity. I'll stand with no ovation. I wanna lead courageously, leave a legacy. I wanna surrender myself. Faith awakening, live for eternity. I'll stand with no ovation. I'm gonna rise up. This is my declaration. My declaration. This is my declaration. My declaration.
This is my declaration. Hugger Root Family Farms in studio. That's coming up after Gandhi's Gun.
This is a call to all the broken, all the hurting, all the hopeless. This is our song. We are the army of good for nothings, and we're sending out an invite. All the imperfect people
It's We Are the Stars, the latest from the band Gandhi's Gun. Good evening. I'm Dustin Tatro, along with you on this Wednesday night. I am so glad you're here for the Rock Show, because where we really come together is when we have an opportunity to help those in the community. And you probably have heard of a nonprofit if you've been listening to KGNZ, particularly during the daytime, over about the past 2 years or so, called Hug-A-Root Family Farms. It's a great opportunity for you to sign up to receive locally grown fresh produce of all kinds. I'm not just talking about iceberg lettuce and tomatoes, all kinds of stuff. And on top of that, the goal is, at least when they first got started, to give half of what their income to use to producing that for people in the community that are in need, that can't necessarily afford to have fresh produce. It really is a great ministry, and they've had some trouble this week because of a hailstorm that passed through south of Abilene, where their primary farm location is. And we're going to be talking to Farmer Josh in just a moment about what's going on and how we at The Rock Show can help them recover from that so they can continue to serve the community. Before we visit with Farmer Josh, let's take our first look at your good news on this Wednesday night from Ephesians chapter 4, verses 1 through 6. As a prisoner for the Lord, then, I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling that you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit. Just as you were called to one hope when you were called, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. And that is your good news tonight from Ephesians chapter 4. As I've mentioned just a moment ago, we are excited to have Farmer Josh Casey in studio with us tonight. Tell us very basically, what is Hug-A-Root Family Farms? It's become quite a well-known name around the Abilene community.
Sure, man. First of all, thanks for having us on. And as we get into talking about what happened at the farm last night, late yesterday afternoon, I want to shout out to anybody locally who had a garden planted in their backyard who suffered the same kind of loss we did. Just because all our loss may have been, physically greater, it doesn't diminish all the hard work that people around the area are doing to grow their own food. And I know some of them lost their gardens as well. So you guys are in our thoughts. Hug-A-Root Family Farms currently is functioning mainly as a conduit that connects the local producer. I am one of those farmers. Right now, I'm still operating a farm under Hug-A-Root Family Farms, but we connect the local producer with the local consumer. The local consumer is people who support us on a monthly basis, year-round, for seasonal delivery of fresh food grown with the absence of harmful chemicals. And it was ironic you said iceberg lettuce, because we don't grow any of that, so you don't have to worry about that.
I can't take it. I turned like 24, and all of a sudden, I just cannot tolerate iceberg lettuce.
I don't even know why iceberg lettuce was created. I think it was something that the father made, and somebody must have messed up trying to cross-pollinate it with dirt or something. I'm not sure. But anyway, everybody needs to be eating more of this food. That goes without question. So, again, we are a network of local producers. Hug-A-Root is the main function is to get that food on people's plates. People, again, support us financially, and then we're able to give away to local organizations. Right now, Faith Works of Abilene got our first donation last Thursday. Love and Care Ministries got 6 pounds of fresh lettuce and mixed greens today. And if you have any idea of how much 6 pounds of mixed greens and lettuce is, that's a lot. That's going to go on plates tomorrow in the lunchroom at Love and Care. So we get excited about that. People, they'll tell you when they start serving this high quality local food, the clientele of those social service organizations, they notice immediately that something's different about the produce. It's not the same stuff that was grown thousands of miles away that was shipped in a plastic container.
That is going out of date that we need to get rid of.
Yeah, and a lot of social service organizations.
We're grateful for that too,
absolutely.
But what you do makes such a difference.
Absolutely. So I worked at a social service organization before. A lot of times what you get in donations or from a food bank is at the end of its shelf life. This stuff is super high quality. The stuff that we donated to Love and Care today was harvested yesterday. So we believe that there's multiple ways that we're going to impact our communities in Abilene and the greater area and all across the world. We don't claim to have all the answers, but we do know that food is one of the solutions to help people feel better and build community.
I'll say, ask anybody. I don't think there's anyone you run into that would disagree with that statement.
Well, I believe it or not, there are people who believe that what they buy from the grocery store and what they buy in bags and boxes, what they eat doesn't pertain to their physical health. And all we can do for those people is love on them and pray for them that the scales will be removed. Honestly, we believe that, or I believe, I can't speak for everybody in the organization, although we typically are formed of people who believe in like belief like you and I have. And so we believe that, what you eat is critical to your health. And from a spiritual aspect, if you don't feel good, you don't treat people as well, you're not as effective as in your job, your kingdom profession, whatever you've got going on. If you're not vibrant and healthy and you don't feel good, you're not as good.
So tell me a little bit about, I guess you could say as a nonprofit, tell me about your business model. You're partnering with families and individuals that are making a donation to this ministry and in return receiving a box of produce, or at least they're supposed to be.
Sure.
And in turn, that's how you're funding, how you're able to help organizations like Love and Care Ministries.
Sure. And previously in the past, you participate with Hug-a-Root and half of your contribution a year was considered a donation. The other half of it was considered purchasing produce. As the price of produce has escalated, we've had to reevaluate that, and now there is no tax deduction, if you will, for participating with Hug-a-Root. You're going to receive, depending on which subscription level you sign up at, either $600 a year. Either $720 a year or $1,200 a year of fresh local food grown with the absence of harmful chemicals. We're going to do our best to give away as much as we can. You mentioned half earlier. That business model did not work out. So we're going to try to give away between $12,000 and $15,000 retail value of produce this year. We'll see where that percentage lands us. If the Father blesses us and it's half at some point, awesome, right?
Well, you got to figure out a way if you're going to do ministry to make it sustainable.
Yeah, we've got to pay local producers. If we can't pay local farmers, none of it happens. If you can't pay those guys and gals for their hard work, nothing happens. And so, what happens then is your local producer, because Hug-a-Root is delivering the food, because we're doing some marketing, and it's not just all us. We've got several volunteers in the background, so it's not just me. Please don't think that I can't do this by myself. But your farmer's going to give away. Your two individual farmers are probably going to give away $5,000 or $6,000 a piece retail value of that food we're talking about. So they're the ones that are going to get the donation receipt at the end of the year. It's going to help them more than it's going to help somebody to get a $600 donation when the standard deduction is over $10,000 now. That's the feedback we got from our home delivery clients.
And that's the thing, the being a tax write-off, most people aren't going to be able to benefit from that anyways.
Not unless they've got a couple of dozen of those $600 donations. So that's where we're at with that. We idealistically we started off several years ago, and I think from a ministry aspect that there's a good number of people all over the country. We want to serve our community. I didn't even know what a social entrepreneur was until
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, until a few months ago, until I started going to these meetings on Monday, called Venture Call. They have these lunches on Monday, and that's truly what I am. I have to figure out a way to make a living for myself and for the local producers to make a living. And we have to be putting equity in the community, and that's what social entrepreneurship is. We desire to make a decent living, and flourish, and feed people, and build community, and have have Sunday afternoon fellowship at the farm and Friday night fellowship at the farm. And
Yeah, tell me very quickly about those before we get into what you guys are needing now.
so we'll start next Sunday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. We will have our first public event of the year at the farm in Buffalo Gap. Beautiful Caton Place in Buffalo Gap. It's picture postcard. It's every bit as picturesque as somewhere like Perini's or anything else going on that's cool out in Buffalo Gap. And we start at 2. We go home when everybody leaves. I'm kind of like you. The fellowship just keeps on rolling. I keep on staying, right? That's how you build community. That's how you build friendships. And so you just come out, you bring your picnic lunch, you bring a blanket, you bring your kids. We'll have a Frisbee flying around. We'll have cornhole. If somebody shows up with an acoustic guitar, or I guess if somebody showed up with an acoustic electric and a small lamp they can play.
It's dinner on the grounds.
Yeah. So, and then in June, July, and August, we will do it on Friday nights. And last year it was called Friday Nights at the Farm, which sounds really cool, As we move further into the year and we have some produce out of the garden, usually we would cook some kind of a squash medley, with onions and garlic and a big wok, and people will bring their own chicken or steak, and we'll have the grill fired up with, good old Texas wood coals. And so you bring your own protein out, we throw it on the grill. There's a donation bucket there, and whatever the Lord has in the donation bucket at the end of the night is what we spend on Friday nights at the farm the next month, right?
Yeah, so make sure, first of all, that you are engaged with Facebook. I ask you, what is your Twitter? I don't really use it. Facebook, Hugger Root Family Farms, and you post all of these things on there that y'all are having.
Everything. If you like the page and follow it, I'm trying to get into using Instagram. Got a couple of people, talking to Mayor about social media. Part of that is just manning up and gaining the confidence to tackle those platforms. I'm not as young as some of you guys, and it is what it is. I balance trying to be a farmer with a social media director and a mechanic and some other things. So there's no bemoaning that. Don't hear any sense of desperation or anything. I'm acutely aware of how many hours are in the day, and I do the best I can with what I got.
We really need more like 32 hours in a day, to be honest.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so we're all familiar with the amount of severe weather that came through the area yesterday. The attention today has been on flash flooding, and particularly in Dublin. We're remembering that family that suffered such devastating loss after their car was swept away in a flash flood this morning. But there was some hail. You may have seen some of the videos on television or perhaps online heading through the southern portion of our area here in Abilene, Buffalo Gap. It affected you,
Sure.
Tuscola. And you were telling me earlier, we do know that it devastated. It ripped through the farm, the hail, and you said it looks like somebody's been through there with a weed eater. So fill us in. I know you haven't been able to get in there to look too well just yet. Kind of let us know what's going on.
Well, yesterday, me and a couple of young men that I'm involved with, 17-year-old twin boys, we were out at the farm working, and we have another family farming out in western Taylor County, out by Nolan. And he had texted me and said, "Hey, man, pray that this hail core misses us." And at that time, the storm was moving, typical southwest and northeast, typical West Texas spring thunderstorm. It missed his farm, and then I abandoned my phone at that point. I thought, okay, it's going to go towards Merkel and Hawley and get some of that. And he called me about 10 minutes later and said, "Dude, that storm's coming right towards Buffalo Gap." And I was like, "What?" So I pull up on my phone on the radar, and sure enough, that storm had taken a really weird bend. I don't know the chronological history of that storm, how it worked, but I do know this. I've been in Texas long enough to know any spring storm coming from the north typically packs some sort of punch. And so we battened down the hatches at the farm, loaded everything up, parked the delivery truck under the tree, sat on the front porch and watched it start to pour. And then about 5:12, 5:13, it started hailing, Dustin, and the hail never got bigger. Probably the biggest piece we picked up off the ground was quarter size, maybe ping pong ball at the largest. But the volume of the hail was stunning. When you sit there and watch something like that, people say you feel helpless. I didn't feel helpless. I felt powerless. We're powerless over people, places, and things. And at that time, the hailstorm was a thing. And so it's all inspiring to see Mother Nature that powerful. I knew with the volume of the hail, it looked like it had snowed. I knew the garden. I mean, I just sat there and knew the garden was pretty much toast. And I've been out in it the best I can. There's some pictures on Facebook, and it looks like, again, somebody came through with a weed eater about 4 inches off the ground. People have asked me numerous times in the last 24 hours how much damage there is. The other farmer came over this morning, and we perused the garden the best we could, again, with the muddy nature of it. It's rained almost 4 inches. And, if we were to give an estimate, if we were taking best case scenario and everything that was planted in the garden came to fruition right now, there's $25,000 or $30,000 retail value of produce there.
Was that mostly plants or seeds? How was
both? We have about 5,000 onions in the ground, a mixture of red, white, and yellow. The tops of those are beat off. 33 tomato plants will have to be replaced. 170 pepper plants will have to be replaced, dug up and replaced. Ironically, it'll be the fourth time we'll plant tomato plants this year. We lost them to a freeze once, we lost them to wind once, and now we've lost them to hail. So 33 tomato plants is what our installation is in Buffalo Gap, and we're fixing to, after we replant these, that'll be 132 that we've planted. All the little stuff that was up, okra, spaghetti squash, cucumbers, Jerusalem artichokes, potatoes, all that stuff that we would have started harvesting in the next 3 to 5 weeks, just beat up. So I can't, for potatoes, for example, this is our first year of growing Irish potatoes. So when we go to harvest those, we really won't know, unless they're just dead in the ground, we'll know we lost them to the hailstorm. Onions, we can't replant. It's way too late to plant tomatoes. I mean potatoes. So some of those things that
are there alternatives that you could look at in that space?
Well, the onions, for example, the 5,000 onions, they're still alive. They've got the tops beat off of them. So it's either go in there and pull 5,000 onions,
or see if they start to grow,
or
tops.
See if they grow back. So like I say, the seedlings we know that we're going to replace. We're headed to the nursery in the morning to see what we've got. We've had some donations the last 24 hours. We're not out of the woods yet, but we've got enough money to get started. We got to clean the garden up first.
Yeah.
We're going out to the nursery tomorrow to see what kind of seedlings are available. We're not going to take any home. We're going to see what's available, and then it probably, due to our work schedule and Shabbat being on Saturday, will probably be Sunday morning before we actually get in the garden and really begin to take inventory of what we think we have. Another concern is when plants are damaged or plants are sick, they send out pheromones to let insects know. Basically, that's in layman's terms. The insects know that, hey, that's an easy meal there. That's a weak plant. So we have to be real cautious about, a massive insect infestation.
Especially when you grow organically.
Yeah, we can't go in there with any kind of a true, what we in the industry call a knockdown poison, something that kills a bug on contact. There are very few chemicals. Well, let me back up. I don't know of a single chemical that kills a bug on impact like some of the chemicals I used to spray when I worked for a pest control company. So a true knockdown poison, I don't know of anything that's not harmful to spray on the earth, that's not harmful to the environment, that doesn't end up in our streams and lakes and stuff, that is truly considered a, quote, organic chemical.
So the first thing that I want to point out, because it's the easy thing to do, is you're going to need money. You're going, as you mentioned, needing to replace seedlings and things like that. You said your best place to donate to Hugger Root Family Farms, which is a nonprofit ministry, is your website, huggerroot.org. And we've had that up. I'll throw that back up on the screen here if you're on our simulcast again.
Yeah.
I've also put it in the comments of our Facebook video, huggerroot.org. And you said that you received that money within around 3 days after it's given.
Yeah, it's processed through Stripe. It's expedient. There's a minimal processing charge. They've got a pretty good program for nonprofits. So, the vast majority of your money is going to be spent pretty immediately on seeds and seedlings and some other things that research suggests, like fish emulsion is an example of a quote organic fertilizer. We don't use that term a whole lot. It's kind of a marketing term now. But what we do is we grow food naturally grown.
So all natural might be
absence
better.
of harmful chemicals. And so fish emulsion is something. Basically, our plants are sick right now. They've been beat up. So we're going to feed them a real heavy diet of fish emulsion twice a week for the next 8 weeks. That's going to cost, some hundreds of dollars to do that. So, we're just like any other, even big nonprofits these days are struggling for funds. We're a small nonprofit. We're community based. We work hard in the dirt. That eliminates some of the opportunities that we have to do the typical, fundraising ventures that nonprofit executive directors or people do, because we're working hard physically. And so it is community supported agriculture. The people who receive this food on a weekly basis, they are intimately aware that this is what occasionally community supported agriculture can look like. Is one of the farms wiped out by hail? Could have been fire, could have been a tornado, could have been a locust infestation. This time yesterday it was hail.
And we do need to try to be sure to get with Gary and make sure that we get you in on Dayside too.
Sweet.
Coming up soon.
Whatever
so that our
works
other
for you
people
guys,
know.
man.
Huggaroot.org, and this has kind of pushed needs for giving up emergently a little bit. We were also mentioning a few minutes ago Abilene Gives. That's coming up on May the 7th, and as we participated in it last year, it is organized through the Community Foundation of Abilene, but it is a day where the community comes together to support our nonprofits, of which there are literally hundreds. You know about KGNZ, but now you see another. If you're going to make it a goal on May the 7th to pick a couple of nonprofits to support, I would strongly encourage you to include Huggaroot Family Farms. And as you said, you are the only nonprofit food grower that you know of in the area.
So Fox News called Monday and said, "Hey, can we do a story on you guys? You're the only nonprofit that's growing food." And I said, "Absolutely. It's important for people to grow food." And again, like I said, it's turning into kind of independent farmers, and we're going to be the organization that compiles resources. Think of the ability to buy stuff at mass quantities at discount, and then distribute those same resources to local farmers. That's going to be beautiful when we're able to step into that. I talked to some guys the other day, and one guy had bought a roll of drip tape from a place and paid $75 ship. Another guy had done the same thing, when if 5 rolls had been bought, freight would have been free. There would have been a discount. It would have been literally 40% less. So we're hopeful for that. But yeah, this is what community supported agriculture looks like. This is what it looked like 100 years ago. Yeah. This is how society functioned. There were farms wiped out by hail 100 years ago as well.
And I can say I'm proud of our local news media. Being semi-retired newsman myself, this is something I would have jumped all over. But you have had every TV station in Abilene contact you within 28 hours.
Yeah, everyone
to say, hey, this is a need.
2 of them were out at 7:30 last. It's a great human interest story, man. As the awareness of local agriculture is growing, Abilene is behind other areas. We can joke about that all we want to. But Abilene Gives, we kind of move past that. That's a great opportunity to give where you live. That's kind of the slogan. And it is the timing, I guess. Some people would say, well, now you're asking for money to put a garden back together, and now you're going to be asking money from people for Abilene Gives, 2 weeks from now. I get it. But just put yourself in our shoes last night. You would have probably felt just as powerless standing there as we did. It's just... the good thing is we have another family farming. Our deliveries will not be disrupted. The expanding selection may be delayed a little bit. We were looking forward to 2 or 3 weeks from now having some squash, beginning to have some of those summer crops. So some
yellow
of that stuff
squash.
will be. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yellow squash, zucchini.
We're not signed up for this yet. Maybe we need to be.
Yeah. If you're, we have about 4 or 5 spots left for home delivery. I would challenge anybody who's listening tonight that thinks, oh, I don't like salad, for example. Well,
You have a lot more than salad available.
Yeah, my best friend of 30 years called me. We delivered his first basket to him Monday. I've been on him for 3 years to get home delivery, and he just kept on kind of poop-on it, thinking it wasn't important, thinking it was no big deal. So I took he and his family, a couple of pounds of mixed greens Monday, and he knows I'm in bed by about 9:30 most nights. So when the phone rang at 10:15 Monday night, I thought, man, he's either stuck in a ditch or he needs a jump start, or, the typical thing that when your buddy's calling you at 10:15 at night. For all you people out there who are listening who are thinking I'm an old fogey, well, I get up about 4:30. So anyways, he said, dude, I didn't know salad could taste like this. And he was so excited because, he had a salad mix that had lettuce, it had baby kale, it had arugula, it had tot soy, which is an Asian green, it had a mustard green in it, and it has so much flavor. I mean, it's just incredible.
You don't need to load it up with ranch dressing.
No. That would be a travesty unless you made the ranch dressing at home yourself. Then that would be different.
You provide lots of recipes on ways to use this produce, too.
Yeah, all of our home delivery partners have my text or have my phone number. It's text, it's email. Eventually, as the organization expands, we'll get a better YouTube channel up going. We'll have some cooking demonstrations. We've got a couple of local chefs that are like, hey, we would love to give cooking classes if we can ever get, some kind of location in Abilene where we can host those things. It's hard to have those out in Buffalo Gap.
I need to show you our app that we use for our Simulcast called Switcher Studio. That might help you out a bit. It's very user friendly. If I can run it, anybody can.
No. I wouldn't say that, dude. I mean, I am on the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to tech savvy. Okay.
Let me recontextualize that. If Dustin Tatro can run the Simulcast app while doing live radio, anybody can do it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna trust you on that one. A little bit of self depreciation for Dustin there. He's given himself a hard time there. So
we've talked home delivery partnerships, and you still have a few spots for those available for the year. I'm sure you can sign up through the website.
Yeah, there's a home delivery tab on there. You can find all the information, and I always encourage people, before you just click the sign up button, call me and let's talk about what it really means to be involved, because it's not, you're going to have to wash your food a little bit. Your food is in its best state if it's delivered to you. It hasn't been washed, and you wash it right before you eat it. That's how it's the most pure. So sometimes you get some spinach with a little bit of dirt on it. Now, we're not going to bring you carrots or beets or anything with mud dripping off of them. But anyways, I hope you're washing your produce you buy at the store. Don't think that salad that's in a bag doesn't need to be washed. Even though it says ready to eat, you better wash it.
E. coli, anyone?
Yeah. I'm not going to speculate about what's going on there.
You don't know where that stuff came from.
Yeah, they're.
We know where your stuff came from.
You should know your farmer. If you want really good food, it doesn't matter if it's termed organic. It doesn't really matter what it is. Go out and meet your farmer. We pretty much the farm that my family operates is in Buffalo Gap is at a private residence. But you call me and tell me you want to come see the farm. You're welcome to come see the farm. We've got nothing to hide. We want to grow thousands of pounds of high-quality local food. And, again, that we mentioned earlier that I think there's multiple ways that the church, and the church is you and me. I think we had this conversation one day when we were talking that the church is the people in it. And from a social services standpoint, from a feeding people standpoint, the church has kind of let society down a little bit. And, so we wanted to spring into action. I was challenged by, a former pastor of mine. He's like, hey, man, I'm on board this organization as long as y'all get to planting food and then figure it out. Don't try to figure it out and then plant food or you'll never get it done, You get one or two chances a year to plant this stuff. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And I've lost 105 pounds in 8 or 9 years, and all I've done is increase the amount of high-quality food I eat and increase my physical activity level. There's no real magic bullet. Man, if you eat really good food and you work really hard, you're probably going to have some health benefits from it.
Let's very quickly talk about what you're going to need. We talked money, hugaroot.org. What about those of us that want to say, hey, we want to help, we want to muster a work party, we want to come help you clear out some of the damaged plants that you're going to be pulling. We want to help you plant. We want to help you get going. Are you going to be communicating needs as far as that goes?
Work schedules are going to be really tough because my schedule's already kind of set. Busiest time of year, Abilene Gives being 13 days away, and then having to try to replant a garden the next 10 days is going to be it's going to be a Herculean effort. The thing that has to happen there is, people who come help plant especially need some previous skill. Cleanup will probably be Sunday. We've got a pretty good volunteer crew that comes out on Sundays. My phone number's on the website. I would say that any volunteer opportunity right now, a direct phone call at 325-201-4943 to Farmer Josh is going to be the most efficient way to get that done. I don't have data all the time. Sometimes I don't get a Facebook message for several hours, so call me. If you truly want to come out and volunteer, we truly need your help, call me.
Give me that again, and I'm going to go ahead and post it on our video also.
325-201-4943.
Okay. And, of course, the Facebook page, Hug a Root Family Farms. You can check in all of the updates of what's going on there, including I'm sure you'll be posting, hey, we're going to be working on clearing out. If you know how to work a rake or get out there and help carry stuff for us even, these are the times we're going to be out there. Now, where roughly in Buffalo Gap will they be going?
Well, if you've ever went to the state park, you go through Buffalo Gap.
I go to the state park all the time. Yeah. That's where my holy hole is.
Yeah, you turn right in Buffalo Gap and you immediately cross the railroad tracks. When you cross those railroad tracks, the farm's the first left. And people really don't listen to that, and they end up at Camp Tonkawa. It's the first left. Like when you go to the railroad tracks, the guardrail there literally ends where the driveway to the farm begins.
So if you're at Camp Tonkawa or the state park, you went way too far.
Probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 miles probably. I don't know exactly how
it's
far
not even as far as the turnoff to go into Tom Perini's.
No. It's right across the street from when you come across the railroad tracks. Mabe's Body Shop is on the right-hand side. The farm is directly across FM 89 there.
All right.
And it's picture postcard beautiful out there. Beside the train tracks are right there. The trains I don't even really hear them anymore, but people are always amazed at how close the trains are when they come by there.
They come flying through there.
Yes, they do.
All right. Farmer Josh Casey with Hug a Root Family Farms. They have had a bit of a setback because of weather. Great ministries are not exempt from natural events like that.
Amen.
And I guess even small hail can be damaging when you're a farmer.
That volume and that speed. And there's wind damage too. It's hard to say what's what, but I don't know how hard the wind blew, 70 or 80 miles an hour for a couple of minutes, the way it blew through there.
So they need money to replace plants, seeds, and things like that, seedlings that you're going to need to be going to get. Hugaroot.org is the best way to donate right now. Again, Abilene Gives is coming up in 13 days. We're part of that too. But this is kind of an emergent need because if you don't get stuff in the ground in 10 days, it's probably not going to be harvestable this year.
Well, we definitely are behind the 8 ball. We definitely need to get as much replanted as quickly as possible. The heat of summer is not too far around or not too long away, and so yeah, we greatly appreciate your help. Promise it'll go to good use. That's about all I've got. The need's there. You know it. Just pray about what the Lord would have you to do and help us out.
All right. Thank you for coming in tonight. I know I want you to go home and get some rest.
Amen.
You have early days every day. Typical farmer, heart nose to the grindstone, right? Hug a Roots Family Farms is a great local ministry. There's not anything like it in the area, and they need our help. So let's work on getting that taken care of. And again, you can find the website Hug a Root Family Farm, or hugaroot.org is the website. Hug a Root Family Farms on Facebook, and you can find Farmer Josh's number on our Simulcast on the KGNZ at Night with Dustin Tatro Facebook page. And we will be in contact with you. Please keep us updated on what we can do to help, because I know I want to come out and at least donate a little bit of elbow grease getting this back up and going.
We'll call you. We'll call you on that. All right.
All right. Yes, sir. We'll be praying for you. What an awesome ministry you guys have. I'm Dustin Tatro. It's almost time for our 10 o'clock nightly news update. Before we do that, we've got to look at your weather forecast on the way right here on KGNZ.
thankful for the support of Sylvan Learning Center of Abilene. Mike and Cindy Sullivan own and operate Sylvan Learning Center. Sylvan Learning Center offers remedial training in reading, math, and writing, with the needs and learning styles of each student in mind. Sylvan Learning Center also works to help students get ready for ACT and SAT college entrance exams. Sylvan Learning Center is located at 3233 South Willis, Abilene, Texas, 79605. Their phone number is 691-0646. At Sylvan Learning Center, learning feels good.
Tonight in Lubbock, mostly clear skies with winds from the southeast at 5 miles an hour. You'll see an overnight low in and around the hub city of around 48 degrees for the rest of your Wednesday night for the Concho Valley. A 20% chance of thunderstorms dying out very quickly within the next several minutes. Partly cloudy skies tonight with lows in the lower 50s and winds from the southwest at 5 miles an hour. And across the big country, a bit overcast the rest of the night with light southerly breezes and an overnight low around 54 degrees for much of the big country. On your Thursday, a sunny day across West Texas with variable winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Your afternoon highs for Lubbock around 80 degrees, 84 for San Angelo, and 81 here at the studios of KGNZ. Current temperatures mostly cloudy and 60 degrees in San Angelo, 56 in Snyder, 58 degrees in Graham, 61 and partly cloudy in Lubbock, and 58 with fair skies right now at KGNZ. Coming up in about 45 seconds, your nightly news update with content from our partners at K-Texas News. Stick around.
Life-changing Christian music. KGNZ Abilene 88.1. KLTP 90.9 San Angelo. Broadcasting worldwide at kgnz.com.
We appreciate the partnership of Cornerstone Christian School of San Angelo. The mission of Cornerstone Christian School is to provide an accredited Christ-centered education for students from kindergarten through the 12th grade in an environment where God and education come together. Graduates will be prepared both spiritually and academically to be in the world to serve God for life as they proceed to their next level of education. Cornerstone Christian School. The telephone number is 325-655-3439, 655-3439.
Good evening at 10:01. I'm Dustin Tatro with your nightly news update on KGNZ. Content from our local media partners at K-Texas News, getting the facts right and alerting you to weather danger. Well, we've been talking about heavy rainfall and severe weather over the past 28 to 32 hours for about the past half hour, and the heavy rainfall has pushed many area lakes and reservoirs above flood stage once again. As of 7 o'clock this evening, observations show these heights above the flood stage at Lake Abilene, 1.5 feet above flood stage. Lake Brownwood also 1.3 feet. Lake Coleman 1 foot over. Lake Fort Phantom Hill 1 foot over, and even Hubbard Creek 0.3 feet over flood stage. It's definitely been an answer of prayer to have this rain, but remember, as you're traveling, turn around, don't drown, do not drive through high water that you do not know the depth of. As we are aware, our condolences and prayers go to the family from Comanche County that has endured such severe loss in one of those low water crossings early this morning south of Dublin. The loss of a mom and 2 small children of a family. Very tragic. Please be careful. In Abilene, police had to break out the window of a car to arrest a woman wanted for child endangerment and evading arrest. Police say they were called just before 2 o'clock today about a crash involving 2 vehicles on North Danville Drive near Ambler. One of those drivers left the scene. When police tried to pull her over, she refused to stop. A spike strip was deployed near I-20 and Highway 351. The driver eventually stopped at the La Ventana Apartments on Highway 351, but then would not get out of the car. Police had to break out her driver's side window to get her out. The driver was an 18-year-old female and was taken into custody. Child Protective Services was called for that child. And a bond reduction hearing will be held in the morning for the Abilene father and son accused of killing their neighbor in a fight over a mattress. Johnny D. Allen Miller, 68, and Michael Theodore Miller, 32, are still in the Taylor County Jail on a $250,000 bond each. They were charged with murder in the September 2018 shooting death of Aaron Howard. The shooting was caught on camera by Howard's wife, Kara Box. She told K-Texas she was told by the Taylor County District Attorney's Office today that they will not oppose the bond being reduced to $100,000. But the Millers would also be prohibited from having any contact with the victim's family. District Attorney Jim Hicks says they made that decision because they can't prove that the Millers are a flight risk. Hicks said, quote, "It's not uncommon for bonds to be lowered in reduction hearings where the accused has been incarcerated for a lengthy period of time without the ability to make bond. A court is constitutionally mandated to consider a bond reduction. My office felt this resolution was in order," end quote. A justice of the peace initially set the Millers' bond at $25,000. After K-Texas shared video of the shooting with the DA's office, Hicks filed a motion of insufficiency of bond. Their bond was then increased to $250,000 each, and the Millers were rearrested on September 21st. They've been in the Taylor County Jail since then. That hearing is scheduled for 10 o'clock in the morning. K-Texas News will be at the hearing and will keep you updated on what happens. At 10:05, that has been your nightly news update with content from our partners at K-Texas News, getting the facts right and alerting you to weather danger. On the way, music from FaithHead with Old Sin and New Skin. And if I were you, I would make sure that my phone is charged and turned on. And Jimmy Webb sent me a care package today. More on that in just a minute. That is FaithHead with Old Sin and New Skin off of the new EP Genesis. And I just got a care package yesterday from Jimmy Webb in the mail. A brand new shirt. You got to love it. You can see the back of it in a minute, and you'll definitely want to get a hold of them for some merch. But a care package with about 5 or 6 of these EPs. Genesis, it's spelled Genesys, including the title track, which we've not heard yet, Old Sin, New Skin, and Rise Up. And he wants me to give these to you, so we're going to do that right now for caller number 3 on the Rock Lines, 800-588-8801. It is the brand new EP from FaithHead. Again, 800-588-8801. Call now and you'll win. Here's Wolves at the Gate and Hindsight.
As I drift on the water, a voice calling to me had said, sail into the harbor, cast down your nets and follow me. First of all the chosen, I saw the raising of the dead, must be my devotion.
Wolves at the Gate with Hindsight. Well, guess what we found out? And I think Solid State had been teasing on social media that one of their bands was going to be doing something. Well, we found out today. It is Wolves at the Gate. A new album called Eclipse will be out on July 26th. It is a full album with 13 tracks, including names like Face to Face, A Voice in the Violence, Evil Are the Kings, History, Counterfeit, and Blessings and Curses. And I promise you, I will be pestering them for singles off of that new album from Wolves at the Gate called Eclipse. You're going to have to wait till July the 26th to get it yourself, though. We're still looking for caller number 3 for our new FaithHead EP CD that we just got in the mail yesterday. Give us a call, 800-588-8801. Another look at your good news on the way on The Rock Show next after Set for the Fall. Set for the Fall with Let Go here on KGNZ at night. Well, we will try again in the next hour to do this giveaway of an EP from FaithHead. Promise you, love these guys. I can't wait to meet them. I've got new Scott Stop on the way in a minute, along with some rock news. First, we'll take our next look at your good news on this Wednesday night, Ephesians chapter 4, verses 1 through 6. As a prisoner for the Lord, then I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope when you were called, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. That is your good news one more time tonight from Paul's letter to the church in Ephesus, aka Ephesians chapter 4. A little rock news for you now. Scott Stapp, formerly of Creed, who you've heard beginning last week on the show, the new song Purpose for Pain, has released a music video to accompany that. And it's not just a music video, it is an autobiographical music video from our friends at rockonpurpose.live. It's a music video that reveals in a new way how intensely personal that track is for the former Creed frontman. The video tells a story of childhood abuse and darkness that led towards temptations towards addiction. You can watch the music video on the Scott Stapp YouTube channel. It was directed by Daniel E. Catullo III. The song is the lead single from the album The Space Between the Shadows. That's also due in July. It is Stapp's long-awaited follow-up to the 2013's Proof of Life. He'll also be touring in support of that album with tour dates available at scottstapp.com/events, and that is Stapp, S-T-E-P-P, if you didn't know. The song is born of the reality that he is no stranger to struggle. The video portrays a troubled past and history with addiction and mental illness that have often threatened his purpose. But his music still comes out swinging in affirmation of the truth. There's so much to lose. There's so much at stake. You got to turn this around and find the purpose for pain. Even in our low times, God still has a purpose for us. It's KGNZ at night. Here's that song. Here's that song right now.
name is Joel Perez. You're listening to KGNZ at night with Dustin Tatro.
Anything you could do, I could do better. I can do anything better than you. 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 I can do anything better than you.
I was the man on guard, yeah, couldn't tell me nothing. Smooth operator, mic check, pushing buttons, seeking fame. I was insecure, somebody love me, going backwards in my life. Call me Benji Button. See what I want, yes sir, got to have it. I don't care who it belongs to, baby, I'ma grab it. Coveting another undercover, it's a habit. Tragic how this envy can turn you to a savage. I can do anything better than you. I wish I had what you had, just a measure with you. To bite the fruit, yeah it's good, sin separate you. And now your wife ain't good enough, any new one would do. Hard your car, hard your job, yeah you like seeing right. If it is a good life, you still wanna give it back. But envy is sin and it will take charge. Don't be blind to the key like your boy Ray Charles.
I can do anything better than you.
Yeah.
Anything better.
Tadashi.
Anything better.
My verses.
Anything better.
Yeah.
I can do anything better.
Look,
than
now
you.
I've been doing this a lot lately. Some undercover hating, a brother progress. I give no congratulations. Maybe it's because I want the spot God gave him. Supposed to make him famous, why I wanna defame man. Crazy. Compliments are hard for me to say. I can't stand the thought of someone else getting praise. Wanting all the glory for myself, what a shame. In the end, it's really in vain, like heroin. Check who I'm addressing, no Vera Wang, buddy. I thought we were supposed to be the same team. Funny, the Pharisees to Jesus did the same thing when he tried to point him to the Father on the trees where they hung him. Mark 15:10, see the heart of that sin. Only way to beat it through repentance and confession. Men fight for your joy, killing discontentment. If you've been satisfied in the sufficiency of the Lord, then you wanna be the next man. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I can do anything
I mean,
better
it was
than
nice.
you.
I know.
But
Better.
Yeah.
they ain't heard my verse yet.
Better.
Yeah.
Let's just admit it.
Better.
I'm better.
I can do anything better
Yes,
than
sir.
you.
There you go.
Look, simply, you having more than me just offends me. Sense me, after that capital like the shit key. I'm Nevada Sin City in the state of envy.
I can do
You get it, like,
anything better than
whatever.
you.
Ain't trying to be rich, less I'm richer than you. The fun of number one is the point that I'm up in front of two. I hate it when praises go to another dude. I grind to the T to stay in front of you. They should have put me on.
One more time. You're feeling me though, right? Okay.
They should have put me on, me raw for eons. I'ma need my compliments with an EST or ER.
It's best, the best.
When it's prime time, I'm Dion. That's why I get excited when I heard you slipping off. I'ma be alphabet, but I ain't been alpha yet. Then I realized I had it all wrong like Malcolm X. My entire life is entitled, tied up and tired, trying to acquire these titles, but I'm wired for something higher.
Better
Sire.
than you. Better than you. I can do anything better than you. Anything better. Anything better. Anything better. I can do anything better than you.
It's 116 Click with Envy. Well, as we were mentioning a little while ago, Abilene Gives is coming up on May the 7th. That is 13 days from now. And here's what you need to know. You can go to the website AbileneGives.org and find all the information and promotional videos about it. Oh, look, there's KGNZ right there. It says, join these awesome nonprofits. And just some of the first ones up here include the Nickel, Abilene Crime Stoppers, New Beginnings of the Big Country, and right center of that, KGNZ Radio. Let's see what else. The Palm House Christian Service Center, the Medical Care Mission, many others. We just mentioned a little while ago that Hugger Root Family Farms is on this, and there are also some prizes. You can click on the prize button at the top of it and see. This is the one we're going to try for. I'm going to come up here and be live on May the 6th so that as soon as we go off air with the Rock Show, we can try to get the early bird gets the worm prize. And this is our strategy for that, is that we're going to try to be the early birds by being the nocturnals that are just still around at the time the early bird can get the worm. That's only for the first half hour of Abilene Gifts from midnight until 12:30, and it is a $500 bonus prize to the organization that receives the most unique donors during that time period. Notice it doesn't say minimum dollars given. It is just the most unique donors, folks. We can do that. I think all of us in the Rock Show circle can plan on 13 days from now to give $5 during midnight, between midnight and 12:30 Texas time, to KGNZ at AbileneGives.org. There's others. There's several of these $500 prizes for this, like between 5:30 and 6 in the morning. An organization that receives at least one online donation gets a random drawing for that. That's sponsored by KRBC. Let's see. And there's some for specific categories. I'm wondering if there is one that's local broadcasting or something. You can look at all of the nonprofits that are registered for Abilene Gives this year. Frequently asked questions, how to give, and all of the information you need to know, even if you still want to be a sponsor. I think that might still be a possibility. AbileneGives.org. And I'll be back in just a moment with our second look at your weather forecast tonight, right here on The Rock Show.
Hello, this is Ryan Guerrero with Central Comfort Heating and Cooling. I'm here with KGNZ. I am a proud supporter of what God is doing in and through this radio station. I've been in the AC business for almost 10 years now, and this year, God has led me to open my own heating and air conditioning business. My heart is to help people and give them professional service at an honest price. Estimates available at 325-660-1136. And you can also follow us on Facebook. I hope everyone has a wonderful and blessed day.
It is time for a second look at your Rock Show forecast halfway through the show on your Wednesday night. Mostly clear skies tonight in Lubbock with lows of 48 degrees and light winds from the southeast at 5 miles an hour. For San Angelo, partly cloudy skies tonight. Rain chances now out of the forecast. Lows in the lower 50s with light southwesterly winds. And across Abilene, it is still going to be a bit overcast the rest of the night. A very seasonable evening here in west central Texas with overnight lows around 54 degrees and southerly breezes at 5 miles an hour. On your Thursday, you can expect sunny skies all across the listening area in West Texas. Variable winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour area-wide. Your afternoon highs on your Thursday around 80 for Lubbock, 84 for San Angelo, and 81 here in the Key City. Right now it's 58, mostly cloudy in San Angelo, 57 degrees in Snyder and Graham, 58 in Lubbock, as well as here in Abilene. At 10:37 on your Wednesday night, I'm Dustin Tatro. Here is The Protest with What Else You Got.
Every shot that you can throw, I'm standing
club on the vodka guy, trying to get little mama in a car. I heard a gun pop like pop, pop, pop. Someone hit us with a chopper like da, da, da. An average night for a couple of no good. Up in college, but yeah, we still like to so hood. Never making it to church, man, we drink it till it hurts. If we can do it tomorrow, yeah, we sure would. When you're sitting in your room and you're feeling like a fool, cause you got a couple STDs. Singing partners on the news, cause they thought that he was cool, now they about to put him 6 feet deep. When I'm really at my lowest and I'm feeling kinda hopeless, everybody gotta hate on me. Shame on me, cause the blame's on me, but hallelujah, the Lord showed his grace on me.
He saved me, was on my way to hell with a full tank. I don't care, but them boys stink, cause what I'm on is a sure thing.
Stacking their money up like it's Legos. Tienes hambre, pero all of the pesos. They never be satisfied, man, I try this aloud. The only hope you got is turning the head so. Yeah, I'm not here to impress, I'm here to impact. I won't settle for less. Got my cross on my back. I was out my mind, my head was screwed up. But Jesus saved me. Hallelujah. Turn up my level, still a rebel screaming. Hallelujah. Me and my partners on your block, we hollering. Hallelujah. Was out my mind, my head was screwed up. But Jesus saved me. Hallelujah. Ay, what you say? 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 Hallelujah. My soul was empty, my life was foolish, but Jesus saved me. Hallelujah. Follow me, I'm a phenomenon. Not because what I do, but all the music I'm on. Smoking with shooters and getting caught up in too much. I found the Lord is the truest, and now I follow the sun. Enemy get a king like Sauron. He should have smashed the boy, I was a moron. Running from the truth, 440 proof, half naked loose slide that I only wanted more of. Yeah, knew in my heart I was opposed to you. Knew I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. Made it get image, but I was more like a minister. By your grace, I repented, and now I'm close to you. I tell the world, but when I tell them, they don't listen. How you rapping, but you Christian, they don't get it, so they diss it. But they shot pop, then they pop biggie. I play my killer, get saved when they done with me. First put me on a plane, headed to the rap game. Let me tell the whole world how the Lord did it. Don't put me in line with all the worst sinners. Only difference is I'm tall and a little thinner. But if you ask who forgiven, see my hand hit the ceiling. Now it changed like weather after a cold winter. Yeah, they can say what they wanna. I ain't scared of these people. Lord is my shepherd. I fear no evil. My soul was empty. My life is foolish. But Jesus saved me. Hallelujah. Turn up my level, still a rebel screaming. Hallelujah. Me and my partners on your block, we hollering. Hallelujah. Was out my mind, my head was screwed up, but Jesus saved me. Hallelujah. Ay, what you say? 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 Hallelujah. My soul was empty, my life was foolish, but Jesus saved me. Hallelujah.
But Jesus saved my life. Hallelujah. But Jesus saved my life. Hallelujah. But Jesus saved my life. Hallelujah.
April 2019 listeners.
I found your radio station and I have not turned it since. That is the only station I listen to.
It just lifts me up in my spirit.
Life-changing music, KGNZ.
Violent waves crashing all around, thundering and deafening sound, threatening flashes moving in, the waters rising up again. I need your anger steadying me, keep me grounded. Hey,
That's the band Adelaide with Deep Waters, KGNZ at night. Your rock time now 10:47 on this Wednesday evening. And I'll mention again, Tuesday night, Disciple live in Sweetwater at Emmanuel Fellowship Church. That is on Haley. You can find information on how you can get tickets on the Facebook event on Disciple's Facebook page. And it's very simple, Disciple in Sweetwater. Okay, let me turn over to the community calendar. You can find that, as I am doing now, at kgnz.com, and you can do /events or just click the events button at the top of the homepage right next, and I'll mention this, to the donate button. Don't forget to support local life-changing Christian radio because it is listener supported, and we do need your help to make this work. Friday night is biker night at the Paramount. This is with the Christian Motorcycles Association. It is a free movie that starts at 7 o'clock. Doors opening at the Paramount for this at 6 o'clock Friday night. The movie is The Wild One with Marlon Brando. That's our historic theater downtown at in the 300 block of Cypress Street. It is, again, free admission with the concession stand open and Boy Scouts providing parking assistance. The folks of the Christian Motorcycles Association would love to talk to you also about a fun run they're doing on the first Saturday of May called Run for the Sun. This thing Friday night, the Biker Night at the Paramount, is a yearly fundraiser to help ministries and missionaries both at home and abroad. Donations to that effect will be accepted. A lot of storm damage, not just here in the big country, but from tornadoes and high winds, including loss of life and severe loss of property in southeast Texas. And Beltway's Boots on the Ground Ministries is collecting donations to help hydrate the volunteers that are working to help rebuild down there. They're collecting bottled water and sports drinks in the parking lot of Beltway North, Highway 351, just northeast of Abilene. And they are leaving Saturday morning, April 27th. So you still got a little bit of time to help these folks out as they take bottled water and sports drinks down to those helping to rebuild from storm damage in southeast Texas. You can find plenty more community events at our calendar, kgnz.com/events. And by the way, there is a form there you can use to let us know about things going on that we don't already have the calendar, because we would like to know about those so we can tell people about them. Well, it's time to get into our 10 o'clock worship break on KGNZ at night this evening. We've got lined up Hillsong United with Freedom is Here. And right now, this is Jesus Culture. Your love never fails. And that is a truth. Think about that for a moment as we drop our differences and unite at the doorway of an open tomb. Here's Jesus Culture, KGNZ at night.
Nothing can separate. Even if I ran away, your love never failed. I know I still make mistakes, but you have new mercy for me every day. Your love never fails. Sing it, you stay. Joy comes in the morning, and when the oceans rage, I don't have to be afraid, because I know that you love me. Lift up a shout of praise.
It's the 10 o'clock worship break on KGNZ at night with Jesus Culture kicking us off this evening, and Your Love Never Fails. Well, here we go. We're going to wrap it up with Hillsong United, a song from 2009, but still a lot of truth in this, especially on the week after Easter, as we're remembering that we have been set free. The song is Freedom is Here. It's KGNZ at night, and you're listening to the 10 o'clock worship break. Good evening.
broadcasting his life-changing music all over West Texas. KGNZ 88.1, KLTP 90.9 San Angelo, broadcasting his life-changing music worldwide at KGNZ.com.
It's 11 o'clock on your Wednesday evening. Here's Disciple and Secret Weapon. These guys come into the big country on Tuesday night, performing live in Sweetwater at Emmanuel Fellowship.
I'm Colby Williams from Abilene. I'm listening to the rock show KGNZ at night.
Well, you know, there is a weekly chart for Christian rock that kind of says how well things are doing, and this one is up and coming. We love it. We've been playing it. It's Silent Planet in Absence.
The air is growing colder. The clouds are caving in. I lost the sound of your voice in the winter sun. I dreamed the dawn would wake us. The morning never comes. I watch you go. I found you in the shadows, following a ghost. I thought you felt my prison, but we were still alone. Where do you turn when the corners of the room run from you? And how it burns to be a memory lost in a mind you never know. I watched you go.
It is Silent Planet. Once more, the song is called In. I'm Dustin Tatro along with you. It's 11:15 on your Wednesday night. Here is our final look at your good news this evening. It is Ephesians 4, verses 1 through 6. Talking about unity and maturity in the body of Christ. And by the way, that is us. It says this, as a prisoner for the Lord, then I urge you to live a life worthy of the calling you have received. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Make every effort to keep the unity of the Spirit through the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to one hope when you were called. One Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. That's your good news tonight. Still 45 minutes of West Texas's best Christian rock, hard rock, and hip-hop on the way, including J. Torah, Unmasked, and this is Buried with Blood.
future with my past in front of me. And when I feel like I'm losing my mind, you're right there waiting somewhere inside. Can you show me the light? Men with broken wings, every single chain starts falling. Every time I speak your name, there's freedom in the sound. I try to keep my demons down. I see the things I've done, but all you see is blood. So far from innocence, it's where the hatred just develops into Are you the racist? When I am crying out in desperation, you lead me from the grave into salvation. And when I feel like I'm losing the fight, I know you're right there on the inside. And I can see the light. Men with broken wings, every single chain starts falling. Every time I speak your name, there's freedom in the sound. I try to keep my demons down. I see the things I've done, but all you see is blood. I've been a failure, but you sent a savior to rescue this traitor from falling apart. My word is broken, but your blood is spoken. It's washed and awoken my heart. Men with broken wings, every single chain starts falling. Men with broken wings, every single chain starts falling. Every time I speak your name, there's freedom in the sound. I try to keep my demons down. I see the things I've done, but all you see is blood. All you see is blood.
Here's more of today's Christian music. Good news, great music. KGNZ.
It's getting hot in here. Somebody crack a window so I can vent my fears to someone who's in control.
Light up, getting really hot now. Chase off so you know I won't bow. No days off, working through the sundown. Don't face us, standing on solid ground. Blamed up, getting really hot now. Chase off so you know I won't bow. No days off, working through the sundown. Don't face us, standing on solid ground. Getting really hot, never gonna stop. Up until we pop, ball to the top, gotta see the shot. Turn the heat up, call it Fahrenheit. Gonna see the black fade to white. Don't get stuck in the sands of life. Don't put your feet up if you're scared of heights. Like, don't get comfortable. Stand at your window with a match and a tank full of gas. Indestructible. In the moment, I'm consumed by the talk of the room. The ones that punch the mold. Never fitted with the crowd, but we fitted to a crown. We just dropped some gold. Yeah, we just dropped some gold. Cause I'm lost in the fight, lost in this life. Every time I talk, I get caught in a strife. Not the first time and it won't be the last. Every word you say just keeps picking its scabs.
I'm looking for a place to hide, hoping I don't catch it all.
In shambles, we rebel in tandem, setting a new standard, moving at random. Don't get the answers, but we got the answer. Caught up in a tangle and we won't fess up. Burning up the room, we feel so stuck. Unless we stop a trip and can't guess. We lost but we pretend less. We start to grin again, then they're trying to catch up. Never could right, better less attention, trying to sort of fight. Off of me, you're on lost to be a constant scheme of fun, but I'm lost it seems constantly. It's an attack and a jab and a back and a stab and a casket. Must be a passion of yours, must be attracted to war. What you attacking me for? Don't look at me, I'll get angry. Just please look away, cause it's blazing. Where the war repeats, it's amazing. When it's hot in here, it get crazy. Hitting the beat and the going on the minute beat is up. Two of us, three of us seen it, but the crumb is sticking up. Getting pretty tight in here, my lungs are filling up with dust. Claustrophobia. It's getting hot in here. Never hear what you say, as it all just fades away. Somebody crack a window. Your words are full of blades, every sense that you spray. So I can vent my fears. In the middle of the day, we be burning in a blaze. Someone who's in control. Spark, flame, off to the races. Starts in the days, but completes in rotation. Spark, flame, all in complacent. Starts in the days, then we're saying shh. Looking all the back is like a rhythm or a tactic. Focus on the mess instead of looking in the dust. Kid, I'm gonna back, I just don't care about a plastic. Turn around and take a lesson, feeling for a passion. Getting really hot, never gonna stop. But until we pop all to the top, gotta see the shine.
It is Unmasked Fahrenheit. Here's Jay Torah.
Just another man with a master plan, trying to do good in this first life, so I can live good in my next life. You can have all of the fancy clothes, you can keep the diamonds and flashy cars. Matter of fact, you can have it all, cause I can't take it with me when I leave this life. Leave this life, leave this life. I can't take it with me when I leave this life. Leave this life, leave this life. I can't take it with me when I leave this life. Leave this life, leave this life. I can't take it with me when I leave this life. Leave this life, leave this life. I can't take it with me when I leave this life.
Some people look and say I'm perfect, but I'm nowhere near it. I have my downfalls too, ain't afraid to admit it. Forget the money and the fame just for 1 second. Can't care less if I had it, if it didn't come with the blessing. The sole purpose for what I do is to be a vessel. I didn't do this to be rich and famous or win a medal. I seen a fallen world that was in need of the Lord. No matter how much I tried, I just couldn't avoid the calling I had on my life. Man, I had to face it, so I made a promise to God I would help change it. The problem I had is I felt I wasn't Christian enough. In the way the world is set up, if you ain't, they rip you apart. But the Lord reminded me of 1 Timothy chapter 1, verses 9 through 10. And the word says that the Torah is not only for the righteous man, but for the lawless, disobedient, and godly man.
I ain't never say I was perfect, just another man with a master plan, trying to live good in this first life, so I can live good in my next life. You can have all of the fancy clothes, you can keep the diamonds and flashy cars. Matter of fact, you can have it all, cause I can't take it with me when I leave this life. Leave this life, leave this life. I can't take it with me when I leave this life. Leave this life, leave this life. It ain't going with me when I leave this life. Leave this life, leave this life. It ain't going with me when I leave this life.
not nothing into this world. It is impossible to take anything out this world. I used to think that life was all about the worldly possessions. Money, fast cars, drugs, this is my confession. Lord knows I thank God he is a forgiving God. Cause ain't no telling where I'd be if it wasn't for you, Lord. Every night I'm praying for the people in this world, because the future brings nothing but turmoil. Our time is getting lesser on this earth every day. So take advantage of it now and don't delay. See, I never thought I'd be on this side of the industry, but he counted me faithful, putting me in this ministry. I just wanted to be the best that I could ever be, and try to do the best of what the Lord has asked of me. So when I'm dead and gone, the Lord can tell me well done, and say rest, now it's time for me to finish up.
I ain't never say I was perfect, just another man with a master plan. Trying to live good in this first life, so I can live good in my next life. You can have all of the fancy clothes, you can keep the diamonds and flashy cars. Matter of fact, you can have it all, cause I can't take it with me when I leave this life. Leave this life, leave this life. No, I can't take it with me when I leave this life. Leave this life, leave this life. No, I can't take it with me when I leave this life. Leave this life, leave this life. No, I can't take it with me when I leave this life. Leave this life, leave this life. No, I can't take it with me. Let me hear you say, come on. Let me hear you say, come on. Let me hear you say, I wanna hear you say, say it. Let's go. Leave this life. It ain't going for me when I leave this life. When I leave this life, it ain't going for me when I leave this life. Nah, leave this life. I can't take it with me when I leave this life. No, leave this life. No, I can't take it with me when I leave this life.
We can say that we are moving on to perfection. In fact, that's Wesleyan theology that I'm familiar with. But will we ever be made perfect in this life? The answer is no, but we have faith, we have hope that we will be transformed in a flash, and we will become perfect. We are made in God's image. Don't lose sight of that. But we are in a lost and fallen world, and we are all, every one of us, susceptible to sin. And we'll do it again. That's why grace is so important. Love that song by Jay Torah called Imperfect. I've got 5 Iron Frenzy and Jen Ledger on the way in the next block after our final look at your weather forecast. That is on the way right here on KGNZ at night.
We appreciate the team of Lone Star Electric Company in Abilene for their support of Christian radio KGNZ. Lone Star is a professional electric service contractor offering complete commercial, industrial, and residential service and repair. Lone Star is bonded and insured for your protection with 24-hour emergency service. 677-0186. 677-0186.
Don't get wired without us. Lone Star Electric.
KGNZ.
Every day's just another struggle. Every choice is an act of war. Take me back to a preacher and a verse when they've seen me at my worst. To the love I had at first. Now I'm breathing in. I'm breathing out. Now I'm alive.
KGNZ.
Just a taste of some of the music you can catch dayside here on KGNZ Radio. For 38 years, we've been the big country's home for life-changing Christian music. A final look at your forecast tonight. Mostly clear skies for Lubbock with lows of 48 degrees and light winds from the southeast for San Angelo and Abilene. A bit overcast the rest of the night. Overnight lows in the lower 50s with light southwesterly winds as well. On your Thursday, sunny skies, variable winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour with highs pretty much in the lower 80s across West Texas. Right now it's 59 degrees in San Angelo, 53 in Snyder, 56 degrees in Graham, and 58 in Lubbock and here in Abilene at KGNZ. Well, I bet you haven't heard this one in a while. It's 5 Iron Frenzy and Cannonball on the way. Music from Jen Ledger and Eric Van Zant.
Passes right through my skin as I fall down the furious speed will only destroy me. Crippling and devastating momentum approaching maximum velocity, and this is how it's gonna be. The point of it all, 'cause this is what was meant for me. Recklessly I fall, honking, smashing, I come crashing, nothing like when I was small. I am unstoppable, I am the cannonball. feet per second, I increase as exponents will multiply. I'll never stop to look back behind me, cutting through the bright blue sky. And this is how it's meant to be. Untethered I will soar, open towards the earth below. It's what I was made for. Honking, smashing, I come crashing, nothing like when I was small. I am unstoppable, I am the cannonball. That feeble coward that you knew has undergone an overhaul. I am unstoppable, I am the cannonball. And everyone will say it's just an accident, like some mishap or a tragedy. I think the failure has a purpose, and I don't believe it's chance if I fall. And I knew that if I ever do fall, he will catch me. And if he ever lets me fall down, for the good of those who believe him, he will make me into a cannonball.
The words that fall from both sides of your lips, like open jaws of shackles made for my wrist. This is the sound of the captives released. This is the sound of my enemies fleeing. The lights come on, the truth will be my victory. Rise up together and say, this is the sound, it's the sound of the warrior. This is the sound, it's the sound of the warrior. Never give up, never back down. I will die before I bow. This is the sound, it's the sound of the warrior. Houses to pound, shaking the ground. This is the sound. Houses to pound, shaking the ground. This is the sound. Can you hear the captives released? Can you hear my enemies bleeding? I can hear the captives released. My victor. This is the sound, it's the sound of the warrior. This is the sound, it's the sound of the warrior. Never give up, never back down. I will die before I bow. This is the sound, it's the sound of the warrior. Shaking the ground. This is the sound, it's the sound of the warrior. Shaking the ground. This is the sound, it's the sound of the warrior. Shaking the ground. This is the sound, it's the sound of the warrior. Shaking the ground. This is the sound, it's the sound of the warrior.
This is Ben Johnson. Me and my family love life-changing music, and we love KGNZ.
Mama kept her foot on the devil's neck. She had fire down in her bones, and you can bet when that old snake came around, the fire started falling down. And Mama kept her foot on the devil's neck. Oh, when the water rose, yeah, she cried out to a Holy Ghost. And when her knees would hit the ground, every demon started leaving town. And Mama kept her foot on the devil's neck. Yeah, I've seen storm clouds roll away when she'd pray against the rain, and sickness buckle at the knees at her praying breath. Oh no, she wouldn't rest until the healing came. And when our family would start to slip, she grabbed the altar with a mother's grip. Oh, and Mama kept her foot on the devil's neck. Oh, when the water rose, yeah, she cried out to the Holy Ghost. And when her knees would hit the ground, oh, every demon started leaving town. Yeah, Mama kept her foot on the devil's neck. Oh, yeah, Mama kept her foot on the devil's neck. with a family of my own, and held jealous for their souls. Yeah, I'll fight the fight 'cause mama taught me how. I'll look him dead in the eye, I'll swing first, yeah, I'll start the fight. Oh, and I'll keep my foot on the devil's neck. Oh, when the water rose, she cried out to the Holy Ghost. And when her knees would hit the ground, I swear every demon started leaving town. Oh, your mama kept her foot on the devil's neck. Oh, mama kept her foot on the devil's neck. Oh, and I'll keep my foot on the devil's neck.
That one by Eric Van Zandt called Devil's Neck. We're wrapping up the show in just a minute with some music from At Home and Fight the Fury. Right now, a final look at your community calendar. ACU is having their big computer auction this Saturday. This time, make a note of the change in venue to Hart Auditorium. That is in the basement of the Biblical Studies building, directly beneath Chapel on the Hill. Computer auction including PCs or desktop computers and laptops that are both PC and Apple machines. They usually some tablets, network switches, and printers, all kinds of equipment like that. It's a great place to start to look if you're in the market for a new computer, especially Apple. Well, I've been there before, and I got a nice machine. I'm going to end up having to put a new battery in it, but it is a beast of a MacBook Pro. I think I won that for $800, and I think MacBook Pros now start at over $2,000 new. So something to think about if you're in the market for a new computer and your budget is a little bit lighter than what the manufacturers would want you to believe. It's going on this Saturday. The auction is at 1 o'clock, but take note, you can check out all of the equipment as that will be set up for viewing and bidder registration at 11 o'clock Saturday morning. Again, this is the big ACU computer auction for this spring, this Saturday, starting at 1 o'clock in Hart Auditorium at ACU. Also going on Saturday, thousands of other big country residents supporting the Kiwanis Club for their annual Abilene Pancake Day. That's going on in the Abilene Convention Center. There are 2 different servings from 8 until 2 and also from 4 until 7. So you can pretty much have your fill of pancakes and sausage with juice, milk, and coffee all day. They also will have takeout available. It is all you can eat if you go in person, and it is sponsored by IHOP. Again, that is a benefit for the Kiwanis Club, their annual Abilene Pancake Day going on Saturday at the Abilene Convention Center. And don't forget to check out all of our community calendar events at KGNZ.com. Just click the events button at the top of the homepage, and it'll take you right there. There's more things that I didn't even get to tonight. So check it out, and while you're there, drop us a note on the Submit an Event form about events you know about that are not on the calendar, because we would love to help people know about those too. Fight the Fury with My Demons on the way right after these words on The Rock Show.
Unearthed from beneath the sands of time are ancient writings containing ageless wisdom. Millions are finding that these words are life-changing even today. Listen and discover ancient wisdom.
When the Bible speaks of the resurrection, the first thing that comes to mind is the resurrection of Jesus Christ. But woven throughout the Bible is an ongoing theme of resurrection and new birth. It's one reason why the Bible is the most positive book ever written. It's a theme that the human soul longs for. It's the kind of wisdom found in Psalm chapter 40 that says, "I waited for the Lord on high, and he inclined to me and heard my cry. He pulled me up out of the miry pit and put me on a solid rock." That is a picture of a complete resurrection experience in life. This season, as you hear about the resurrection of Jesus for eternal life, be also open to Him breathing resurrection life into other areas of your hopes and dreams that you thought were long dead.
Ancient wisdom from the Bible.
A message from life-changing music, KGNZ.
Always playing his life-changing music. KGNZ.
I go to sleep with my demons creep in my head every night. They come to shred all my dreams and I bled on my bed. Why is this my life? Something wrong with that. He came around me. Sinking. What you did to that? I can't let go. Bleeding. You tear me into a million cuts. I can't forget what you know you've done. I hope you're happy wherever you are, 'cause you're the reason I'm afraid of the dark. I go to sleep with my demons. The past is always awake. They sink the calls, take it deeper, they all come from feeding inside of me. I go to sleep with my demons, creep in my head every night. They come to shred all my dreams and I bled on my bed. Why is this my life? Why? Something wrong with that. I pray for you to suffer. You taught me that I suffocate. Go under. Just once could I have a different life where I can see close and both my eyes. I hope you're happy wherever you are, 'cause you're the reason I'm afraid of the dark. I go to sleep with my demons. The past is always awake. They seek the calls, take it deeper, they all come from feeding inside of me. I go to sleep with my demons, creep in my head every night. They come to shred all my dreams and I bled on my bed. Why is this my life? Why is this my life? I can't close my eyes. Why is this my life? I can't close my eyes. I hope you're happy wherever you are, 'cause you're the reason I'm afraid of the dark. I go to sleep with my demons. I go to sleep with my demons. The past is always awake. They seek the calls, take it deeper, they all come from feeding inside of me. I go to sleep with my demons, creep in my head every night. They come to shred all my dreams and I bled on my bed. Why is this my life?
It's Fight the Fury with My Demons. I'm Dustin Tatro stepping out of here. Remember, you matter, you are loved, and you've been prayed for. So go be loved tomorrow. Have a great Thursday, and I'll see you here live tomorrow night. Love you, and good night.
I
Just choose life, not pain. The devil has no access if you proclaim Jesus your Lord. Know how much you wanna be loved, and I can forgive you what you have done. Let me stitch your wounds. The hardest days may finally end. My light may replace the darkest thoughts. Just say my name. Hey, you can rise from the darkness. Just choose life, not pain. The devil has no access if you proclaim Jesus your Lord. If you proclaim Jesus your Lord, 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 hey, you can rise from the darkness. Just choose life, not pain. The devil has no access if you proclaim Jesus your Lord. You can choose. You can choose.
Yeah, it's the young myth, birthed the king from a god that saw me off course and it threw me back in the car. Turn rappers' egos to lard, rapping kilos and verses, then I sell it into the masses. That's Ronald Reagan with tactics, that's my confidence. Ain't no common sense within my continent. Eventually they'll try to screw you over, practice abstinence, passiveness. My gang on the exodus. I write all my checks for this, please check for this. I'm next in this. I ain't got no enemies, I got fans in disguise. They throw my name in the batter, then want their hands in the pie. Now how I operate, I serve all my dinner in line. If you heat checking, I keep it cooking, my temperature rise. Now all my ex-girls want some closure. Y'all can't drive through, I ain't open. Young Ron did it for the culture. I ain't all set, hit it, I ain't focused.
Hold up, you must think I'm playing with you, silly sagging. Running with the fellowship like photo baggers. If you really bout to step inside the ring, I could write a hook, but ooh, these verses sting. Split splash in the sauce, life change what it costs, and now I work for the boss, and yet they saying we lost. Yeah, blind to the key, that's that Ray Charles. My homies elevate, I don't need to medicate, let's set it straight. We can take you out like trash at dinner that you been a fake. I'm so sick of trying to mitigate. We see that you trying to simulate, and I don't really know who in the body or just in the building, cause the way they look at me, that ain't what I need. We gon' point it back straight to Joe D. This be all that will be the tragedy. Got open the door, made a masterpiece. I don't think they know what I'm about to be. Leader of the new, ain't no doubt of me. Ooh, that sound like pride, get that out of me. But I'm royalty, what I'm proud to be. Leave it, we accumulate like CBT, slide in like DVD. You can't tell me what I need to be, cause it all came so easily. God threw them keys to me, flow that like needles be. Attitude on easy E.
Attitude on Kanye, I'm a cutlass flambe. Young Ron got the light skin 10-10 boy through the blockade. I saw all that blase and I play all that arcade. I eat good and I sleep well and I get my hydration Asian. So I drip drop and swim through all the sauce. How I'm gonna flex and never ball. Let me turn the light skin on. I been a problem, get the solving, get the carving, get the strap, get the gap, round the truths, round the army, round his back. The way I get it poppin', they don't care. I ain't got no time for that. I put city on the map. God been all up on my mental, he been outside like a cat. Blessings falling in my lap. John, you should run that back. Before I say these rappers under, put the dirt up on their back. Yeah.
When you need to make plans, God is the perfect life planner. When you need to be rescued, Jesus brings perfect relief. When you need to know more, God's Spirit is the perfect teacher. They always work for you. KGNZ.